Welcome to my channel. I am Payal, your own IELTS trainer. On the request of few students who had commented on the comment section, we're going to make some videos on how to improve your vocabulary. So let's get started with the lesson 1. Many of us believe that we should use a lot of complex or high density words to get a good score in writing or speaking. But that's the wrong notion. We should not waste our time in learning the meanings of new words, and a lot of people do that. They spend days and months on that. In fact, upgrading your vocabulary as you're reading articles, newspapers is good. But spending a lot of time on doing that only and not really focusing on your preparation is not advisable at all. Even if you have a huge vocabulary of a lot of new words, but you do not know how to use them correctly, it's not going to serve your purpose. If you use incorrect words and you use them at the wrong place, the examiner is going to develop a negative impression about your hold on the language. He might think that you do not know how to use the words correctly, and that will reduce your band. As we all know, that lexical resource is a very important parameter of evaluation for writing and speaking. So there are different ways through which we can exhibit variety of vocabulary. Using new words is one thing. You can also use synonyms of the existing words, or you could also present your thoughts by using variety of sentences. For example, if I have a sentence, the way he spoke impressed everyone, I can also write it in multiple ways and it would convey the same meaning. His speech was impressive. The way he spoke uh, had a good impression on everyone, or his speech had a good impression on everyone. So the multiple ways that we can write a sentence, and it's all correct because it conveys the same meaning. But this is something that we're going to discuss in our upcoming videos. In this video, we're going to talk about synonyms, and we're also going to talk about collocations. We're going to learn this new concept of collocations, which means that we have to use the words in such a way that they're logically connected. For example, for the word essential, we can use synonyms like crucial, vital, critical. For focus, we can use emphasis. For advantages and disadvantages, we can use pros and cons. Then for negative effects, we can use adverse impact, deleterious effects. We can also use the word detrimental. For example, smoking is detrimental to our health. So a lot of people are obsessed, for using synonyms, and in that process, they end up using words inappropriately. For example, I've seen a couple of students, replacing the word communication skills with soft skills, but both have different meaning. So it's not correct. That's going to reduce your band. You won't be appreciated for it, and for using synonyms, the examiner will not give you a good band. Rather, you'll be penalized because examiner would think that you really do not know how to use words correctly. So it's very important that when you're using words, they have to be used at the right place as well. For example, I had one of the students who had written, "Internet has overtaken traditional modes of communication." No, we talk about internet. We're not talking about a car overtaking a bus. So we're not talking about a car which is overtaking a bus. We're talking about internet. So we should use the right word. Internet has replaced traditional modes of communication. So the word overtaken is not correct. So the choice of words is also very important. Using the right word is very important. For example, the addiction to tobacco has attracted the youth. Now, the word attracted has a positive connotation. It should be used in a positive way. So if you're not able to find a word to substitute the word attracted, then you can probably rephrase the sentence. You can always say, youth are addicted to tobacco. So as I said, there are multiple ways of writing a sentence. So you can always rephrase a sentence, but make sure you use the right words. For example, increase, rise, and growth all have similar meanings. In few places, we can interchange them, but not all. For example, we can say increase in population, rise in population, growth in population. But we cannot say increase in globalization, We should say progress in globalization. So, so as I said, not every word can be interchanged. So you have to be careful with the usage. It's very important. Now let's try to understand the concept of collocations. What are these words? These are the words which are used in pairs. So we have to make sure that these words are logically connected and they sound good naturally to human ears. For example, make a mess, take a call, responsible for. So these are the words used in pairs. Now we have different collocations here. We can always use noun plus noun. For example, which means combat zone, capital gain. So these are the words which will always be used in a pair in the same way because they make sense. Then we can also use it as adjective plus noun. For example, deadly weapon, poor health, handsome man, deep trouble, deep sleep, deep thought. So here the word deep is adjective and thought is a noun. So these words always exist in pairs. That's the right usage. We can also use this as verb plus noun. For example, make a mess, save a seat, commit a scene, present your thoughts. So here we're using a verb and a noun. Then we can always use it as adjective plus adverb. So we can also use it as noun plus verb like results suggest, research show, time comes. So we can always use it as verb plus adverb where we're using a verb and an adverb next to it. For example, appreciate sincerely, recommend strongly, try hard, think aloud. We can always make a combination of adverb plus adjective. For example, highly unlikely, painfully sensitive. In this, painfully is adverb and sensitive is adjective. And lastly, we can use the combination of adverb plus verb. For example, carefully planned, carefully designed, strongly recommend, strongly object, suggest. So I hope this was useful. You learned a lot of new concepts. You learned how to use the words in pairs. You learned new concept of collocation and also how to use your limited words in an appropriate way in a sentence. So you really need not worry a lot about vocabulary. Follow us in our upcoming videos. You learn new interesting ways on how to be effective in your writing and speaking. And we're looking forward to be a part of your success and journey. So subscribe to us, like, comment, and share this video. And look forward to our lesson 2 on vocabulary. You'll have lots more to learn. Thank you.